Greetings, everyone in secondary. Thank you all that stayed for our Monday Hornet Day. We hope that you got caught up or that you got some great tutoring. Don't forget, there will be another one next 6 weeks. And if you have your grades up, if you're here all the time and you don't have attendance problems, then you will be one of the lucky ones that get to go home. If you do have to stay, it is not torture or punishment. We are just trying to make sure that we do have you up to passing and that we do make sure that you get more one-on-one help that you need. It's not always about going home, but it is what's doing right and what we can do for you. Now, I know that you know that the big push this year is for you to read, and there's a lot of you that are reading way more than you were. So I wanted to show you 2 books that I have read. One is called The Boy on the Wooden Box, and this is back for the Nazis and for, if you saw the movie Schindler's List. This young man was an actual one of Schindler's people, and he saved him and his family because he was one of the people who worked in the factories for Schindler. This was an excellent book. The reading level on it, I am not exactly sure because there's no label. I stole it out of the library though because you know what? I thought that I loved the cover and even the spine. So sometimes you just pick up a book just by what it looks like on the outside, and I was thrilled by this book. So if you like Number the Stars, or I know some of you just read Devil's Arithmetic or whatever, but this book was from a boy about secondary age and what all he went through, and the many times that he had to move, or the scares that he had, or what all he had to do in order to just survive. So sometimes we think our problems are bad, but once you read about his, and that he did survive, and he does now live in the United States. So this was a true account of this boy's life. Now, another book that I picked up just because of the cover, and this one is a book level 5.8, and it's 9 points, but it won't be over on the right-hand side of the library. It will be over on the left. It is nonfiction again, so it's not going to be with the fiction books. This one is about the boy who harnessed the wind. And he lives in a small village in Africa, and they had no electricity. Even the school buildings don't have electricity. And he couldn't always go to school because he had to work on the farms with his dad. And they raised, they called it maize, but it sounds to me like it's corn in the story. And he couldn't go to school because he couldn't afford it because he had to work. So he decided that he would spend his time at the library. So he went to the library and he started checking out books, and he saw all these pictures of all these things and how these people had electricity. And so he goes and he takes scraps out of all the scrap yards. And so he builds a windmill that generates electricity for his house. And the people in the town thought he was crazy and that he was some kind of witch or a demon that could do this. But he ends up on TED Talks, and then all of these supporters come and they take him around the world to talk about his great invention that he had. Not that the other people in the world didn't have electricity, because they did, but it was about how he went about it. He had no schooling except until elementary, but anyway, he had no schooling, and he figured this out all on his own. This is another true story. He went on. I mean, he makes millions, but he puts it all back into small communities. And he came to the United States to get his master's degrees and his doctor's degrees, but he went back to Africa. So this is another one. If you want a feel-good story, there is a part in here that is sad, and it's kind of awkward when Miss Morris is crying because she's reading a book on a plane, but that's what happened. The other weird part was that Miss Morris was actually holding a book and reading it, and not with her phone or some kind of device. But I'm one of those old school people, and I still want to use a bookmark, and I still want to hold the pages of the book. These books will be back into the library tomorrow, so if you want to check them out, or there could be others just like it. But these are both excellent. Now, while I was away, I came up, so elementary teachers, And my secondary teachers, here is another Cinderella story. And this is from Alaska, straight out of Alaska. And so I bought it just because one of my favorite activities is to take all the different Cinderella stories and put them together and to compare the characters in there from their different cultures and what all they have. So this one I am donating to the library. This is the Salmon Princess. And it is the Alaskan Cinderella story. So I'm just bringing you another book. It will be donated to the library and it will be in there. So if you want to check it out, contact Mrs. Wooten. So I can't wait to go and drop these off so that I can get my next book that I will be reading and I will share with you. So share with me a good book if you read one so that maybe I can read it too. I hope you all have a fabulous day. It is a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And just remember that we have something to be thankful for. Okay, be tolerant of others, smile, and know that we're all here for you. I know I am. Can't wait to see you.